Okay. I suppose I should do things. TikTok is dangerous, man. I was looking at it for like 2 seconds and I was 5 minutes of the stream have elapsed. I was like, I'll just give it time, the usual like 5-minute buffer when I press the go live button, and then I'm just like, oh, it's already been 5 minutes, but it felt like it was 2 seconds. The Green Man, the Masked One. Do my settings work properly? I hope so. This one, yes, it is all there. Properly accounted for. All my settings, yeah, that's all working, wonderful. Submask, how's it going? Is she leaning again? I just looked at this artwork for the first time since yesterday. I think she'd be doing a mean lean right now. Stop that. Get yourself vertical. That already looks better. Okay. Now, today, I think I'm gonna do what I said I was gonna do last stream, but didn't get to do because I'm so slow at line art. It's so easy to be so slow at line art, though, in my defense. Good, I woke up earlier today. I'm gonna be productive today. That's the spirit. Maybe. The spirit wanes. The Marlin wanes even more. But I know that feeling. I was half considering just being asleep today. But I was like, no. I can't start willingly just letting myself nap. Normally when I'm asleep and I sleep through my stream time, it's not because I wanted to. It's because I was like, surely I'll wake up 5 hours from now, right? And this won't even be an issue. No. It's always, I fall asleep and then I'm just conked. And then I just sleep for too long. So if I already am upset with myself when those moments happen, I can only imagine how much I'll be upset. If I start sleeping through my stream schedule on purpose. That would be a problem. If I feel like it, yeah, you know, it's just, do whatever, man. I'm not your dad. I won't control you. Even if I was your dad, which again I am not. Gotta make that clear. I don't think I would be that kind of overbearing parent. I don't think I could have... I don't have Tiger Mom DNA. I can't force my kid to practice violin for 7 hours a day and then just go to sleep at night pretending I'm a good person. It just wouldn't work for me. It just don't seem right. I'll leave that lifestyle for other people. There is the alternative, though. You could have parents that are too supportive. I have sometimes, slightly jokingly, but also slightly seriously, accused my parents of being too supportive. For one, letting me get an art degree. Like, what are you thinking? What is wrong? Why would you let me do that? It's been useless so far, and you knew this would happen, I feel. I feel like you have to know that's gonna happen. Could have made me be an engineer or an astronaut. Or an astronaut engineer. That'd be pretty sick. I'm building bridges in space. Why do we need bridges in space when you can float over stuff? Why wouldn't you want a bridge in space? Trying to make an elevator in space? Why do you need a space elevator? You can float once you get past a certain point. Past that point, you don't need the elevator no more. We just like to have Earth things in space. It's just a funny thing we do. I'm trying to organize my documents and I just opened the first one I already want out. Yeah. Organize them how? Chronologically? Alphabetically? Which ones you like the most? Wow, that sketch layer really is adding to this. God, why does this liner look so crispy? I might have resized it. This pencil brush, as much as I love it, does not deal well. Or does not handle resizing all too well. Does not cope with that. By school subject, ew. I could never organize all my school documents. I just put them in a folder based on the class. Similar to what you're describing, I guess. But it was very loose. It was just, I just threw them in the folder and then I would find them later. Or I wouldn't, and I would wish I could. What is this one? Oh, yeah. I don't think we need that. Maybe I should keep it, though. Just in case I forget. I scripted out the pages so I know where the speech bubbles are going to be, but I'm going to keep them. That's what I'm going to do. You must have a lot of documents, then. I guess it was easier for me because I handled all that stuff preemptively. Just a nice thick layer of brown. Just cover the page. So I didn't have to go back and do it how you're doing it, which is all at once, it sounds like. I had the luxury of foresight at some point. I don't know where I got that from. I have not maintained it since. I'll put like biology. Then inside one that is like semester 1 and semester 2. Okay, that I did not do. I didn't break it down by semester. But to be fair, I broke down, most of my classes were broken down into semesters because that's what they were. I started organizing documents in college when every class was basically a semester and didn't go much longer than that. Except for some of the major courses, you know, a couple semesters long. Because every semester I need to name some documents, the same as the last. And that just makes it confusing. Yeah, that makes sense. I didn't have hiccups earlier, and now I have them. And I can tell they're the food hiccups, too, because it's just, if you can tell. You always know when it's a food hiccup. Why couldn't this happen before stream? It's happening during only. Freaking digestion. It conspires against me. Oh yeah, I was gonna fill bucket, refer other layers, then you go here, and then you do make sure all layers is checked, and then you do that, and then it should work how it was working before. And it does have some artifacting, which I will need to fix, but I did re-up my... or refreshed myself on the fill bucket tool. So I do have a more of an awareness for how that's supposed to function. There's another more in-depth video on how you can actually fill in those artifacting gaps and deal with them. With just like a whole, you just swoosh your brush or whatever the tool is over and it gets rid of all that real easy like. And I gotta figure out what that is. I didn't watch that far into the video because, I don't know, I'm lazy. Oh, there's this YouTuber I found. What's her name? She uploaded like 2 videos, but the breakdowns, the way that she breaks down the construction of her art pieces, they're very good. My one critique is that she doesn't really, in her defense, she's only released 2 videos and she's blowing up on YouTube. Like we're talking like tens of thousands of subscribers with 2 art videos. That's a pretty big that's a pretty big art channel, man. Blowing. The algorithm has favored them. I don't even know how I'm gonna find them. I just subscribed to them. Maybe I could find it. Oh, there's the shorts. Okay. I don't know how big their social media presence was elsewhere. I would assume pretty large if their first 2 videos combined have, like almost 200,000 views. Here, let me bring them up on screen. Yoink, 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 yoink. There we go. Shuen Art. I'm sure I've seen them before. You might have seen them before. I won't watch the videos because that's, you know, I'm not a React Andy. I'm not a freaking content thief. I'm not a dirty crook. And other such obscenities. I'm not any of that. I'm not a ne'er-do-well. I'm a ne'er-do-good, like Superman. But they break down their process, and it's pretty simple. They do the flats. They relegate the color layer underneath the line art. And then they do a multiply layer, they erase for where they want the highlights to be, and then they, you know, they do some overlay for color cohesion across the whole piece in lighting. My only critique for how it's very concise, and I think if you want a good workflow, it's very similar to the Hungry Clicker workflow, where they have a rough sketch here, and the rendering is really where it all comes together. And so that my only critique is that they don't really they don't tell you why they choose the colors that they choose for their lighting or how. And that's like the one thing I really need to refresh myself on. Is how color theory actually works in regards to lighting. Because it's not just, you'll be told this all the time if you take art classes and it's wrong. Warm light, cool shadow. It's just, that's not how it works. But then there's like so few sources that adequately explain clearly and concisely what the actual process is, or should be. I found one video so far that began to open my eyes, and I still need to watch it a couple more times, I think, to fully understand what it means, and find a few other sources to corroborate. Corroborate. Is that the word I'm looking for? Also, this is wrong. I'm stupid. 1 second. Got too caught up using the fill bucket tool. First, I'm gonna look up the word corroborate. About shadows, I don't know the colors, I just know how they are put together. Yeah. The color is my problem. I need to know what they're doing with that. Confirm or give support to a statement, theory, or finding. Yeah. I need to find more videos to corroborate the ideas that are forming in my brain about color theory and lighting. Also, welcome in Freeze. How are you doing? I did the thing again. This one doesn't want to work. I'll have to find that video too, because it's very insightful. Or at least it has the beginnings of insight, at least for me. It's like when you're just starting off a Bloodborne playthrough. Just the faintest beginnings of insight forming in the brain. Currently fishing in a game, so very relaxed. Alright, nice, nice. But just wait until you get a hold of them. Then it becomes a freaking horror game. Final Fantasy 15 came the closest to actually providing a fishing game experience that I want, which is just this very over-the-top, action-oriented fishing game. With all these fantastical creatures that are nightmarish. Now you just gotta press a button. But, like, you gotta do it right, or the fish gets away, and that's... To fail, the reeling in of the fish is a dishonor that would probably haunt your lineage for ages, I would imagine. So you really want to make sure you get that one down. Excuse me, am I boring you? My dog is sleeping. He didn't have to be in this room, especially if he was just gonna fall asleep and make me feel self-conscious about my streaming. What's wrong with this guy? It's either you get it or you don't. You can rig the chances a bit, but not by much. Oh, so it's actually... That's a more bold approach to a fishing sim. Or a fishing game in general than they normally hit you with. Normally, it's all about, like, you can influence anything. Provided you're skilled enough. Why do I do this? I'm so used to not using the fill bucket tool. It pains me. Just drag and just do it. There we go. Fast. And then all I gotta do is clean up the edges. Because this brush is toothy. I would say that the shadow's color are not determined by the light, but by the reflections around it. That's part of it. Bounce light is definitely a factor, but also the light does affect the shadow itself. That's what I remember. I'll try to find the video. I know I saved it to a YouTube playlist. Let me see if I can find it. If you're in an environment that has more cold colors, you gotta do the shadows more cold. That's how I'd go about it. I saw one video that helped me do shadows. We might be thinking of the same one then, I don't know. I'll try to find it. Oh. Done only monochromatic shadows so far, so that's that. That's a good way to do it. Value is infinitely more important than color theory. So it's, you know, it's arguably even better if you master a monochromatic or just straight up grayscale shadows, then you're probably just going to be, you could jump right into it without even a half-assed knowledge of color theory like me. I have an excuse. A little bit, anyway. Not too much. Some colors look the same. In my mind's eye. Is it in this playlist? Did I put it in useful? Let me see if I put it in useful. Oh, here it is. The Knot Rules of Color Temperature by Bobby Chew.
Hey everybody, Nathan.
It was very good. Color temperature is what I was thinking of. In regards to shadow and highlights and stuff. The whole comment section is everyone just being like, yeah, this, I was always taught warm, cool, and cool, warm. And it's like, no. There's a comment, and the rule, when shadows just take the color of the ambient light, reflected bounce light, and or the color of the contacting surface and the surroundings. So it's interesting. It is about the environment more often than not. But also you gotta do the ambient light is interesting because that is also just environmental. It's almost like the light source itself is or like your highlight value, your highlight hue, I should say, is almost entirely separate from the shadow hue. Yeah, if you could find your video too, I wouldn't mind it. I do like searching these kinds of things. Color is relative based on the lighting and color of the object / surroundings, so pay attention to the color theory, the theory of color and light. For example, where does a blue need to travel to get warm in relation to the scene? Ah, interesting, yes, they're talking about this. This is a Marco Bucci type philosophy to color theory. I.e. a neutral gray is warmer than a typical blue local color, so in context it would read as warm. Yeah. He's funny, that's why I watch him. Let me see. Pop.
Edgy.
Oh yeah, Chala. I watch this dude all the time. What is he, from Estonia, if I remember correctly? Yeah, I watch this dude a lot. I haven't seen this video in a bit, though. I probably watched it when it came out and not since, but it's good to come back to it. 2020? Yeah, that's ages ago, mate. But yeah, Chala's great. I love watching this guy's content. Talking about ambient occlusion. I do like ambient occlusion. Terminator halftones. Yeah, I'll have to. I'll save that. I'll put this one in the background. So that I remember to view it later. And I never thought I would say this, and maybe it's just because I'm stupid, and I don't remember the actual difficulties inherent to the actual process of what it entails. Or the processes of what it entails. But I kind of miss rendering. Like, actually just rendering textures and stuff. I used to do a lot more traditional work. Like actual oil painting and stuff. And with pen and ink. So I used to render textures a lot. But I don't really do that much anymore, because digital art, you don't have to. And so I won't. You just have blending modes and layers and stuff. You don't even have to paint. But I want to get back into the idea of having a more traditional-esque workflow, and I think that Schwen was what I literally forgot their name already. I subscribed to them today. Come here, Schwen Art. I think following some of their workflow could get me back into the swing of things. That'd be nice. That's a jazzy little number right here. No, use the fill bucket tool. Sorry, dude. I'm sorry. It's fine. Just like remember for like a second, man. Whoops. That's a lot of that color. Are you joking me, sir? Where's the gap? Excuse me, do you guys see a gap here? I don't see one. The computer seems to think there's a gap here. In all of its infinite wisdom contained in between the ones and the zeros, I don't see a gap with my human eyes personally, but I guess that's just me. I guess technology knows what's better. I personally don't see a gap. And I think if you were to look with your heart and soul laid bare, eyes unclouded by hate, you too would see there's no gap. The gap are the friends we made along the way. If those are the friends I made along the way, I need new friends. I don't want these ones. They're a gap. I wish there was a gap between us. If that's the case, get them out of here. All right, we've done base layer for lady. The woman has a base layer. Now we need this guy. I don't know why I even put the brown in when I do these base layers. Because it always the red is just so hard to see, so I always have to hide it. Oh, that looks... Ew! Gross. Why did it look like that? Oh god, everything is awful, dude. Alright, this one I can see the gap. So I'm gonna go here and I'm gonna close gap 3. 3 close gap. Alright, now it's better. And believe it or not, there is a solution to this. See, this is why I want the tool, or not the tool. I want to know the settings of the tool that the artist I follow and YouTube uses to, because my brush, I think you'll notice, does this, and I can do it. I could clean this up, no problem. You just select outside of it, and then invert it. And then I just color inside the lines, and that usually... Oh, but then that happened. But then this happened, and that's a new thing I was not prepared for. But I have to color in my my own line art because it's got all this texture in there. And we put the brown back there. And this wouldn't happen if I just used any other line art brush, but I like the pencil. And you can't take that away from me. You could try. Won't get very far. Tell you that much. I'll scream. At like a reasonably aggravating volume. Not too loud though. I don't want neighbors to start calling the police or nothing. That would be embarrassing. For everybody involved. Mainly me. And then we select outside the line art again, or the, I guess that's the base layer. Can imagine it might be horrible for mainly my pencil. No! You can't stop me. If the neighbors call the cops over me yelling about a pencil, what of it? What are they gonna do? Arrest me? They can't. They have no proof. There's nothing to prove, I mean. Shifts eyes to various degrees and angles. God, there's gotta be, like, look at this freaking thing. It just looks so gross until I clean it up. But it is faster than doing it the other way that I've been doing it, so I'm glad that I've rediscovered or had this method reintroduced to me of just using the fill bucket tool properly. The cleanup is a little annoying though, but what are you gonna do? I can't do anything about it. I guess I could use a different line art brush, but you'll have to kill me for that. Over my cold, dead, goblin-y green hands. Whoops. Wait, are these not the same? What did I do? What did I do? You know, without context, this panel is very funny. It's just kind of, it's like he's pointing a thumb at her. He's like, hey, check out this lady. Hey, this is my best friend right over here. Look at her. Here she is. Welcome. Welcome in. Here's my best friend. He's gesturing over here. So basically, there's no way you'll ever use that unless you come back as an undead, yeah. Which cannot happen, I don't think. You never hear about goblin revenants or something like that. It's always a humanoid. I'm a human revenant. Shut up. No one cares. Humans always come back as the weird undead, like any undead weirdo form. Liches, revenant zombies, it's all humans. It's never a goblin zombie. A gombi, as it's called. It's not, but it could be. You could call it whatever you want. They haven't been invented yet. The name is fair game. True, see? Everybody knows this is deep down in their hearts. They're just not willing to accept it. Oh yeah, I gotta select this one, refer to multiple, nope, just this one. What did I do? Invert? Maybe? I don't know, let's see how this looks. second puberty, lasting a long time. Thought I'd be over it by now, but no. Alright, so this guy's base layer, I don't know what his base layer is going to be. Maybe just like a slightly off-white color. It doesn't need to be something, it doesn't need to be anything too advanced, really. So... like a... maybe like a here. What's the color of his shirt going to be? Probably just white. I don't know why I'm hyping it up too much. We'll just make him a pale white specter of a man. At least in the base layer. You know, I worked on his character design in regards to what he actually looks like, but I didn't actually settle for anything color-wise. So I don't know what color his hair is going to be. Could be anything I want right now. Should he be a blondie? I don't know. Should he be a brunette? I already have black hair for a lot of my character, and then some of the characters later in the story are definitely going to have brown hair. And then this lady's got freaking red hair, so that's a thing. That's a whole other thing. I feel like I'm just missing the blonde character to complete the ensemble. Doesn't even have to be like super bright. Just has to be like, it could be like a dirty blonde, sort of a goldenish color. God, I can't wait to not draw that background for a long time and then come back to it at some point. No, I'll do it. I'll probably do it on stream too, just to really make sure that I force myself to do it in a timely fashion. I know me better than anyone. Oh, we should probably turn this back on, eh? Ew, why is it so... oh. It's because, it references your sketch layers as well, which is kind of annoying. Look how handy that is, like, boom, it's already 90% colored in. So easy. Then you do a little bit of cleanup there, and bada boom. Done instantaneously. He's colored in. I don't gotta do anything else. Except for actually, you know, do the coloring. This is just the base layer. But for getting the base layer set up, it's very efficient, very effective. I still gotta draw the other dudes gallivanting around the room. I don't know where they're gonna be. There's one in the foreground here, but his helmet's too big. Let me see if I can fix that. Or at least remind myself. There has to be more lads in the future. Oh god, 40-minute time moves too fast. Where's it going? Fucking get back here. I didn't give you permission to elapse so dang quickly. What the heck are you doing? Get on back here. I haven't even gone on that many tangents today, I don't think. Doesn't feel like I did anyway. I haven't even played Google Snake Game today. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe I need to play Google Snake Game right now. Maybe if I play Google Snake Game, time will continue to move at a more consistent pace. One round of Google Snake Game. I don't know what we can get to. I bet we get to 300. I don't think the grid is even that big, but we're gonna try for something. This is the most gaming you'll ever get. I almost died right there on my stream. Played the Fear and Hunger 1 once. Got my butt handed to me for a solid hour and a half, I think. We are not settling. We're not. What? One more for sure. This is for sure the last one. Stop giving me corner apples. I'm not properly warmed up for this. I'm getting up in years. I'm 48, if anyone asks. My reaction time isn't what it used to be. Although some studies suggest that reaction time isn't actually as dependent on age as we've been led to believe. Now, I just gotta say, that sounds like a huge conspiracy put out by big esports to make old people feel like they should enter that Street Fighter local or that CSGO tournament in their area. I think it's all a I think reaction time is affected by age. Or maybe it's just me. Maybe I just need to acknowledge that I would be bad at the game, especially if it's a first-person shooter, regardless of how old I am. I will be bad at shooters forever. It's quite literally too late for me. If you didn't get godlike, or at least play, like 8 hours of COD with your friends when you were in middle school every day, then you just don't have the time to do that anymore. At least that's how it went for me. I was playing fighting games and platformers, which does not make me look cool in most multiplayer friend groups. Because all you do, what are most multiplayer games? Not platformers. I could tell you that much. When's the last time you heard of a multiplayer platformer? I ain't never heard of that. Little Big Planet, was that even co-op? I think it was. We got to 100 once on this game. I don't know if we could get 100 again. Took all of my mental fortitude to get there. No, I'm so bad. One game genre I wanted to get good at for a long time is tactics games. I like tactics games, but I'm so bad at them. I don't know how people min-max systems and optimize all of their results. All the character interactions. It takes a lot of understanding of each individual game's subsystems. And when it's a tactics game, each game probably has about 8,000 of them. So memorizing all of that's very hard. Then you gotta choose which waifu you want to date, and that's always an impossible decision. It's like, how do you get good at picking the one? You can't. Have you played Final Fantasy Tactics? I've played a bit of that one on the PSP. I was pretty bad at it, from what I recall. That game's weird, though, because it gets to a point where you can just kind of start farming and just grinding levels on the main map. And the enemies scale with you when you're grinding, so it's like you could just kind of keep doing it forever. And then when you go to the main story missions, they don't scale to your level, at least from what I remember. I don't think that's how it works. So you could just completely overpower yourself at some point. Really, the early game is the hardest part. I've heard it's pretty good. I have the ROM, but I haven't played it. The story is fantastic. It's like absurdly well written for no reason. And I don't know why. Some spin-off tactics game. But it's really well done. We might get 100 again on my first try of the day. My absolute definite first try of the day. No, don't go over there. Why would you do that to me? No! That's gonna take so long to get back over there. You know what game I want to play? Persona 5 Tactics. I also want to play that one. It looks interesting. I haven't played any of the other Persona 5 spin-offs, like, the 3DS ones, or Persona, what is it, Persona 5 Q or whatever? Or Persona, what is it, Scramble? I don't know, the Dynasty Warriors one. Haven't played that either. Apparently those games have decent stories, though, from what I understand, which is weird for just like a throwaway spin-off game. But it's cool that they actually try. Could have just put no effort into it, which is what I thought they were doing. Guys, we're gonna get 100 on our first try, our legitimate first TM try of the day. And I'm not jinxing it right now by talking about it. Oh, 98. Oh, there's 99. Look at him sitting there. Oh, and 100. Easy. I don't remember what my personal record is, but I'm fine to just eat the wall right now. I could freaking Tony Hawk it. Just face plant right into the floorboards right now. I think our record is like 115 or something. I don't know if I even care. Care enough to do that. The Q are good. I have like exaggerated difficulty spikes. Also too many characters. Just more dateable options. I don't see the problem. Are there more teachers today? Are there more problematic pairings that I can engage in as a student? Very unhealthy dynamics. Oh, why'd they put it in there? Now I gotta go all the way over here, dude. Ah, that's fine. We did 100. That's enough for Google Snake Game. And how much time passed? I don't know, probably like way more than I intended. Alright, enough of that. Focus. Zotan? No. Alright, fine. Don't get your comic done. Ah. I've foiled my own argument yet again. I truly am a master of debate against myself. And then we take her hair for my own benefit. My own personal gain. I also want to play Tactics Ogre. I've heard that one's like an easier tactics game to get into. Excuse me, this flute is bleeding my ears. Excuse me. I don't need bloodletting to be done on my ears. There's no evil spirits in there today. I normally like the flute, just don't harp on it, which is a weird thing to say about a completely different instrument. It's like telling someone not to drum on their guitar. Which is a thing you could do. don't French your horn. That's almost... No, well, you probably shouldn't. That doesn't work in the turn of phrase that we were exploring earlier linguistically. But you probably shouldn't French any horns. Although some would argue that's how you play most of those instruments anyway. I've seen people and how they how they play. You got it with like the reeds and stuff, and how you gotta position your mouth around those things. It's ridiculous. You would never catch me playing a brass or a woodwind instrument. No, 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 no. I'm playing stringed instruments. Nothing needs to go in my mouth. Which makes it the superior method of performing, in my opinion. And in terms of facts and logic. And I haven't owned these games either, speaking of tactics games. My nephew owns them, though, or at least one of them. He owns one of those Rabbids and Mario games that were like XCOM type stuff. They were tactics games on a grid system. Those looked neat. We played the multiplayer for a bit, I remember, and I remember enjoying it. Despite the fact that it is a Mario and Rabbids game, which is still one of the weirdest crossovers to happen in recent memory. Like, it's not even a Rayman collab, it's the freaking Rabbids, the minions of video games. Like, who cares about the Rabbids, dude? Yeah, they said those games are actually pretty good. That's what I've heard. That's what I've heard. The common consensus is that they, despite their subject matter, are pretty well made. Isn't there a Sonic Tactics game? Or am I high? Let me figure that out. Sonic Chronicles, that's right. It was on the Game Boy, and I think, if I'm remembering correctly, people didn't like it. Or was this just an RPG? I think I might be half remembering a multitude of things at the same time. It might just be an RPG. But it did come up when I looked up Sonic Tactics games, so I don't know. Is Pokemon... Didn't Pokemon have one? Pokemon Conquest? Yeah, Pokemon Conquest. That one is a tactics game. That I almost completely forgot that was real. There's a lot of tactics games out there that I have just never explored and probably will never explore. But I won't say never. I mean, I used to like Pokemon. And I still like tactics games, so there's always hope in my heart that I can still enjoy things. Mystery Dungeon is also tactics. I believe that one's just more of an RPG experience. Your typical RPG fanfare. I do know, like, in typical RPG fashion, they get very story heavy for Pokemon games. I've never played a Mystery Dungeon game all the way through, but I have seen playthroughs of a couple of them, and they get out there. I like Pokemon, but I refuse to buy the new ones. Yeah. That's kind of how you gotta be a Pokemon fan these days. You could just go back and keep replaying, like, Platinum, Heart Gold and Soul Silver, Fire Red, maybe a little Pokemon X and Y if you're feeling frisky. Just because it's fun to see the first actual 3D entry in the series. But anything past that, it's like, ooh, I don't know, dude. I don't know, dude. I don't know if I like Pokemon anymore. They could absolutely make the games look and play better. That's the thing. They could. Game Freak could, but the Pokemon Company gives them no time and hardly any resources to do anything. They demand a new game be made every 3 days, it feels like. Probably not really, but it feels like that sometimes. If children stop thinking about Pikachu for even a microsecond, he will die. It's Tinkerbell rules. The less you believe in Pokemon, the more they die. So we have to keep the Pokemon in everybody's mind constantly, lest they forget. Did you forget about Pikachu? If you did, you're killing him. Don't let Pikachu burn out. If you had to make a tree asset in 30 minutes because the game ships tomorrow, you'd probably make it look about as good as they can. This is not to be a Game Freak apologist. They still do release games in horrible states. These days, anyway. But their publishing company is certainly not helping them out, and the company that the whole IP is based on, or, you know, the IP that the whole, that the games come from, rather, they don't help out at all either. Despite having one of the most successful franchises in the world, currently. Even after all that they've done. They could sell 2 trillion Gardevoir, Pikachu, Lucario, etc., plushies tomorrow, and they still would demand that the Pokemon video, that Game Freak gets the video game done in 6 months. They just gotta keep them moving. No time. No rest for the weary. It's like what's happening in the animation industry for movies. You see Across the Spider-Verse, it's a fantastic film. Then you see all of the articles coming out, all the interviews with the artists who actually worked on it, and they're like, yeah, that was a living nightmare. I didn't even want to work on the movie. There was such a high turnover rate because people felt like they were dying trying to meet these crunch time deadlines. And it's like, are we still doing that? Didn't all these big studios get yelled at enough? When all of this crunch time accusations started being flung around during the just, you know, at that one point in video game history. We're still doing it in every other industry too. Haven't enough Kotaku articles come out making fun of people, or making fun of executives for adopting crunch time work ethics and work policies? How many more do we need to release? Apparently at least 1 more, because we're still doing it. You can't release 0 more. Radio silence probably won't help the situation. Maybe we should just release the other end of the extreme, just 1 million more articles about it in one day. They don't even have to be different, just keep reposting the same article on different websites. Just keep doing it enough times across the industry and maybe we might get through to somebody. Why is IGN posting this crunch time article 40 times in an hour? It would get attention, that's for sure. It's just the entire website today. Nobody knows what they're doing, or why. So that's my solution. If your headline isn't getting enough attention, or making enough of an impact, just recycle it and release it about 100 more times. At the very least, people will start to notice. Can't use that tactic all the time, though, because then people would be like, ah, they're doing the thing where they release 100 of the same article in a day now. To try and get people's attention again. I hate it when they do this. You have to use it sparingly. It's the problem with the cultural zeitgeist and the mind games you play with it. Can't make it too obvious. This is all coming from the mind of a man who took one social change in politics course in college. So I'm practically an expert, I think. Let's see, what do we gotta do now? We gotta color in her eyes. Because she has them. At least in some panels. I don't know about you guys, but my eyes ain't skin tone. Sometimes they're red, like more than they should be, but that's different. It's because I'm shooting lasers out of them. And you're not allowed to tell people that that's why, or that I can do that at all. Well, that just made the whole dang thing disappear. Where is the color layer? There you are. That wasn't a yawn. That was actually stifling my glee and my excitement for life, my zest for life that I have contained within me at all times. That's exactly what that was. Don't get it twisted. I'm not exhausted. I'm more alert and awake and alive than I've ever been. Except for this freaking flute. This flute is going to kill me. And she has teeth as well. At least I think so. I think that holds up in the character design files that I have stowed away somewhere. Alright, so we've colored her in. Her flats are done. No, there's one more where she's standing there all tiny like. Being all miniaturized in the background. There we are, you know, back here. Here we go. There it is. Found it. Look who's awake, not me. You've been saying that a lot, but you've been talking a lot for someone who's not awake. Are you sleepwalking? I guess you wouldn't be able to answer if you was. If you're sleepwalking, say anything. Anything at all. Also, welcome in, Swan. Regardless of whatever state of consciousness you find yourself in today. Hi, Mask. Oh, that's a sleepwalker. She said anything. I made sure that she knew that before she said it. So of course she knows now. Everyone be careful. You're not supposed to interact with a sleepwalker. For some reason. I don't know why that was ever a thing. Does anybody know the reasoning behind that? I never figured it out. Why are you not supposed to talk to or, like, shake people awake when they're not where they're supposed to be? in the dream state. I freaking throw them to the ground. What are they gonna do? They're asleep. They can't fight back. Freaking pile drive them. I'll show them a thing or three. Also, I gotta hide your eyeballs. 1 second. I had a dream about making cute apron designs, and now I gotta make that happen. It was just a reality waiting to happen. Isn't that something? I think, and that's just beautiful, isn't it? Alright, you can have your eyeballs back. Ah, I'm asleep again. No, it's just a prank, it's just a bit. It's just a funny thing I was doing. Don't panic. Sometimes I wish I could be asleep, but just present myself as if I'm like, we should be able to pre-program our bodies to do autonomous, mundane tasks. Like, I stock grocery store shelves for a living. I should be able to just pre-program those actions in my brain like a basic robotic machine, some kind of computer. That way I could sleep, and then my body will just perform the manual labor while I'm asleep. You know, like a dolphin? Dolphins, they sleep with their eyes open, I'm pretty sure, so that they can be partially aware of predators. So, I should be able to be asleep and have my body just stock shelves, such that I do not incur the danger of an angry boss that I would have if I didn't stock the shelves. I should be able to just do nothing consciously, and then wake up. Maybe my arms are a little sore. Maybe I dropped the cat litter on my foot or something, but at least the work would have been done and I got to sleep. It's a trade-off I'd be willing to accept. What's reality anymore? I don't know. My stream die? My timer died. On my phone. No, it's still live. They have to breathe as well. That's true, they do gotta be breathing, those freaking mammals. What are the mammals doing in the water anyway? Freaking idiots? Just don't be in the water. What's wrong with you? Get legs. We did it. It worked out just fine. Stream looks okay. Alright. Oh, my timer's back up. I don't know what happened, but my mobile display just decided to zap the timer away from me. I had no way of recovering it. I had no way of knowing what was going on. They actually lost their legs so they could be in the water? Why? Legs are so handy, though. You trying to tell me the Little Mermaid was wrong? That the Little Mermaid is counter-evolution propaganda? Because I'd be willing to make that argument, even if Twitter won't. Is there music happening? Oh, there is. My headphones were just super quiet. I gotta stop doing that. I'm like, there's no music, and then there is. Tonight would have been one of those nights where I couldn't, or not tonight, but last night. I'm sorry, it's weird when you're awake at hours when you shouldn't be, all the time. Last night was a shift where I probably could not have been on autopilot, if I could be on autopilot. Definitely could not have been last night, because we had a couple of, we had the most upstate suburban New York ass delinquents that you could possibly have in a store, than a grocery store. At like 11:45 p.m. there was like two 15-year-old girls throwing like a couple of the those like rubber, not like inflatable rubber balls, but like just those ones that were, if you throw them at a kid's head it would make like a boom sound, like those ones. They were just taking those out of the display case and just like throwing them at just down aisles and at a couple aisles of product. And I was like, oh my god, it's just like, it's not even annoying. It's not, like, in terms of things that could be in the era where TikTok trends propagate literal crimes and theft, this is like the most milquetoast thing they could ever do. PVC balls? I don't know, maybe. Let me look up a PVC ball. Yeah, it's like a PVC ball. It's like these things. Yeah. That's actually like the perfect... Thank you for just knowing exactly what those are. How dare they? Yeah, so... And it wasn't even like a lot of them. Like a lot of the PVC, but it was like 2 or 3 most. So I had to go talk to my assistant manager, and then he took the ball away, because they had a third one, and they were probably getting ready to... Oh, I can't even imagine what they would do, man. They would do something horrible, like... gently toss it down the aisle again, and I don't even know what we would have done if that happened. We probably would have had to call the police or something. Heaven forbid. But it's just like, I was more upset, not that they were being a bit of a nuisance, but that they were being a bit of a nuisance. You know what I mean? Like, they're not even interesting enough to be disappointing to their parents. Like, it's just, what are you doing at a grocery store at 11:45 p.m., throwing not even a lot of PVC balls around the store, like a couple PVC balls around the store? Can't you just, like, smoke weed? Like everybody else who pretends they're cool in upstate New York? Like, what are you doing? Why do you have to throw PVC balls at product that is in a store that I'm working at as well? Like, the audacity to do it, it's one thing to do it, it's another thing to do it while I'm there. Were they drunk? They were 15, so I would hope not. They weren't, like, actually 50, but they were certainly young. I, as a 49-year-old man, have a penchant. I have this idea for what certain age ranges are in a general sense nowadays. I have that kind of wisdom about me. I don't drink, but I wish I did sometimes, you know? That night would have been one of them. They hit us with the excuse when we confiscated the third PVC ball as we were becoming wise to what they were doing. They hit us with the, oh, I was just testing it out, and I was like, oh my god. I wasn't even angry until they said that. It's like, what? Not only are you doing the most lame hoodlum activity I've ever seen in my life, throwing like 3 PVC balls around a grocery store at 11:45. You hit us with the, I'm just testing it out. What do you even think that's gonna do? Let's assume that they were doing something legitimately interesting in the sense that I would have to, like, call up enforcement of any kind. What is the phrase, I'm just testing it out, gonna do for you? Like, let's put that excuse over any other crime, or like a crime at all, because what they were doing was decidedly not a crime. Like, I was just testing the knife out. I didn't know what I was doing would have ramifications, you know, dude. I was just testing it out. It's like, that's the lamest excuse I've ever heard in my life. It doesn't even, like, it's almost bold in how much it just takes accountability for what they were doing. To the point where it makes me upset. It's like, you know, you're just being a ne'er-do-well. Just go home. I don't know, in Germany, they usually start drinking at 15. Well, down here in America, we do things a little differently. You start drinking at 14, and you don't tell anybody about it. Old man Zotan. I know a lot of people my age who drink when they shouldn't. Also smoking and vaping. Yeah, all those freaking... With the smoking and the vaping. And the nicotine. And the Heelys. And the rock music. This world's going to shit, dude. Where are we get? What are we even doing? Canada's on fire. That's really all that's all I got. Everything else is pretty good. Legal drinking age for beer is 16. Yeah, we got freaking 21. Which is kind of ridiculous. I mean, I agree with having it at 21. I just think it's ridiculous how they expect that is even remotely enforced to the degree that it should be. It's definitely not. The drinking age being 21 here is kind of like a deterrent much in the same way that those commercials saying you wouldn't download a car were for piracy. Like, they're not going to enforce piracy to the point where they catch everybody. Much in the same way, it's like, they're not going to enforce underage drinking. Like, they'll probably be a bit more strict on it, because it has, like, more, tangible ramifications for people and their surroundings than piracy does. But it's still just like, most people just ignore it. Over here is 18. That seems reasonable. Even for me, as a person living in a country where it is 21. 18 seems reasonable. You know, you got your driver's license for a couple years at that point. So you should have had at least some experience with the concept of not pairing the drinking with the driving before you are legally allowed to do both, you know? That's fine. Drinking age at 16 is kind of wild to me, because, like, I don't know when you get your driver's license over there. Or anywhere that is in America, to be fair. But being able to drink and drive at the same age here would be... That's like a nightmare scenario for me, personally. I wouldn't drive at all. I would move to a place where there are subways. I wouldn't take the chance. I wouldn't do it. Or I would start driving an armored tank. I'd make it street legal, and I would drive an armored tank down the highway. That way, if it's either you or me, I think I got a pretty good chance. With my mounted turret on the front of my vehicle. And the fact that it weighs like 10,000 pounds. That might even be on the low end. How much does a tank weigh? How much? $55 tons. Oh boy, I was underselling that for sure. There is an M1 Abrams tank, for example, weighs about 147,000 pounds. So 10,000 pounds is just a skosh off. I might not have known at all what tanks weigh. But now I feel even more comfortable driving a tank down the highway. I might just barrel down the wrong lane towards a semi just to feel something. Just because I know I'll win. I don't care if you're trying to hit me with a semi-truck. My tank weighs 147,000 pounds. It's almost so... I imagine it's like black hole territory bordering over there. All that matter condensed into one spot. Now we gotta steal this gray here. And then I have the belt loop. It's not a belt, it's for the sword loop holder thing, belt. Device. Yeah, that looks about like how it's supposed to. Alright, this is all looking pretty standard. It's hot in this room again. My door's even open, by the way. And the air conditioning is on downstairs. I should be feeling none of this. Oh, I didn't even detail the fangers here. Let me do that real quick. I'm gonna need to fix that up. These are not gonna line up well. They're just gonna have to line up well enough. Is there an age on smoking weed? I know there's an age on drinking, and there's an age on smoking cigarettes, which I think is 21 here as well. Yeah, that's 21. That's the tobacco smoking age. 21. What about weed? Can you just do weed whenever you want? Many states allow recreational use of marijuana in adults age. Okay, it's also 21. Don't put it in your body. Oh, but in Canada, you can buy and consume it at 19. Except for in Alberta, which is 18. None of this information is relevant to me personally, but I didn't know that. What about eating it? I guess they did say consumption, so that covers that. They got me. With their legalese, they covered every base. They thought of everything. Every angle. Actually, I don't think I put it there. For the pinky, I think I just went there. That looks about right. And now the hand is more detailed, which is something that is always good. Because the more attention you draw to the hands, the more expressive your piece is going to seem, just as a result of that's how the hands work. Don't underestimate the importance of body language. Ursula said it best. Since we were talking about The Little Mermaid earlier, or just me. I think I was the only one talking about it. I have not seen the new one. I don't plan on seeing the new one. I don't plan on seeing most new Disney projects. Because they just seem like they're going to be mid at best or bad at worst. Haven't seen either. Whoops, I recommend the first one. Even still. Having watched it recently, it does hold up. However, I will say it's another one of those movies that is rife for smack talk potential, if you're trying to watch it for the romance subplot. Which I know is weird to say because you would be like, isn't that like the whole point of that movie? Yes. But is it still flawed in many ways? Also yes. The romance is really, it's not really so much a, they say it's like a true love kind of thing, but it's not. True love in Disney movies is just a way for them to expedite the process of the characters kissing for narrative reasons, you know? They only have so much runtime to work with that true love really just boils down to attraction, when, you know, the whole love at first sight kind of thing. Which is tropey, and it's like, I don't really care for it. But it was a different time in storytelling history. That was a much more widely accepted trope, I think, back in those days than it is now. Now people much more often than not, at least in my experience and in my personal case of preference, prefer romance to develop organically and more slowly. Apparently that's one thing that the remake did better. I haven't seen the remake, but the first thing that I couldn't go online for 2 seconds without seeing articles talking about how the new Little Mermaid actually fleshes out the romance between Ariel and Prince, I think his name's Eric. Could not tell you though, for certain. He has approximately negative personality when you do the math and you crunch the numbers. But that aside, wouldn't it be funny if love at first sight was a real thing? I'd be going outside with a blindfold. Could you imagine how irresponsible that is to just have as a thing? It's like imprinting on people. It'd be weird. I wouldn't want to do that. Like, that's so inconvenient if you just fall in love with someone because you looked at them. It's like, oh god, now this is a whole thing I gotta deal with. Ah, great. Now I'm in love with this person for the rest of my life. What am I gonna do? And then, like, what if they don't view you this? What if love at first sight could be a one-way thing? That would be so messed up. I mean, I guess that's just like real life, so... That's when you get incels. So I guess... Disney wasn't too far off the mark in regards to love at first sight being a real thing. It's just... Normally it only happens on one side. Doesn't happen to anyone, I guess, just for the right person. I wouldn't even have... The right person... Call me old-fashioned. Call me a hopeless romantic. But I don't think I could truly adopt the love at first sight philosophy. Because I like to know who people are. At least on any level, before I would consider that level of intimacy. Or the deepening of a relationship in that way. Yeah, it is weird. It's a weird thing, and it's weird to me that it became so widely accepted. But I guess that's hindsight. When I was a kid, I didn't think it was weird. You know, you just watch all the Disney movies, it's like, ooh, that's a pretty color. That's a catchy song, and that's really all you think about it. But looking back on it, it's like, yeah, love at first sight is a weird concept. And it's even weirder that it was never addressed even once. Until these days, where we are now subverting that trope for a multitude of others. You could be attracted to some person, but not being in love at first sight. Yeah, that's how it is. There's two distinctions. You can very easily mistake love for attraction, or vice versa. Since one can oftentimes lead to the other. In a lot of cases. Am I missing some lines here? I think I am. Maybe I'm not. Maybe just here. And then this would have to be like this. But I do appreciate how the storytelling zeitgeist, or common consensus, seems to be trending towards more organically developing romances. Like, I forgot to bring it up. I started to, but then I forgot. Apparently they added some scenes that actually fleshed out the friendship between Ariel and Prince Eric. There's, like, similarities between them now. And the parallels were always there in the original. But they heightened it in the remake of The Little Mermaid. Apparently, because there's like a scene they add where they start bonding over after Ariel gets her legs and whatnot. Spoilers if you haven't freaking heard of the concept of the Little Mermaid. Sorry. They're like in a map-making room or a study because it's like Prince Eric is on a boat in the original, and it's like implied that he sails all over the dang place, getting treasures from various places that he visits and whatnot. You know, that's his version of adventuring. It's what he wants. You know, they fleshed that out in the remake. Apparently, he has his own collection, and it's like, oh, narrative parallels. These characters have something in common. They both feel trapped in their own world, and they seek each other for comfort. It's like that's a good way to. They have a friendship where they bond over their mutual appreciation for collecting things. It's just like it's a simple thing, but it's organic. It has narrative parallels, but it shows the parallels between the characters, and it's organic. It's literally a fairy tale, so can't really spoil me. Yeah, that's true. Just the ending is much better than the fairy tale. Yeah, I do like how Disney just refuses to acknowledge where they get where they got most of their source material from, and how it's all like the most grimdark storytelling stuff in the world. Like how the Lion King is just Hamlet with lions. Hamlet's messed up. Should this be darker? Maybe a little bit. Just a slightly noticeably different shade of blackish, grayish, what have you. I'll just color this in like so. Nah, I should be careful about it, at least around here. That Schwen art channel I brought up, she uses the lasso tool to fill in these areas of flat color and isolate them. Pardon-moi. I don't know if I can get behind that. I'm already just beginning to readjust to the fill bucket tool. I'm 67 years old. My brain isn't as elastic as it used to be. In the fairy tale, she literally turns into sea foam because she can't be human or mermaid anymore. Oh yeah, I think I do recall the sea foam bit. Can't exactly remember if the reason. What is this music from? Stove, hello. Welcome in. This is Xenoblade music. This particular song, I can get you the name of it in a second. This is from Xenoblade Chronicles 2. It's called Alba Kavanik. Or Kavanich. I don't know. Listen, the English language was not made with the CH consonants in mind. Firmly believe that. Why can we pronounce them two different ways? Who did that? He probably didn't have a C or an H in his name, and that's why he thinks he can get away with it. Nah, okay, yes, Xenoblade. I'm playing Xenoblade music more often. Because even though I don't much care for the second game, and I haven't played the third one yet, I do think the soundtracks are pretty much always bangers all the time. That's the one thing they never messed up. Oh yeah, now I can be I'm gonna color in his hair anyway. So I can just kind of... I think 2 gets a bad rap for the things it deserves a bad rap for. That's probably the best way that it's ever been put, I think. And yet if you say that on the subreddit, people will eat you alive. I don't know what it is where the boner came from for Xenoblade Chronicles 2, but the subreddit, like, vehemently defends it. All the time. And it's like, no, it's actually better than 1 in every way, and here's why. And then you get like 40 paragraph essays
about why the fact that one of the blades, the ice blade, what is her name? Is her name Dahlia? I forget. The ice blade with big bazongas is actually imperative to the story if you analyze it closely. But the good parts are great. The good parts are pretty good. Her name is Dahlia. I feel bad for having this this character is literally named Dahlia, so that's a problem. Now I'm just thinking about that the whole time. I can't believe they let that in the freaking, what is this? What is this, dude? True, its world building isn't bad, but the main character kind of pisses me off. He just gets everything. Yeah, Rex sucks, and people who defend him as a protagonist are wrong and maybe even a little dumb. I'm sorry to say it. I didn't mean to get so crass there, but I felt the need to say that. Also, what is this? What are you doing, Monolith Software? I hated Dahlia because of her proportions. Oh, I'm looking at them. They're so unnatural. Oh, yeah, they are. Freaking yaoi hands? What are those? And that's not even the worst of it. He's a pretty straight-up harem boy. Yeah, pretty much. And that is freaking... Oh, my God. Everything. He actually regresses as a character, which is fun. Like, they couldn't even give him the decency to be a static character and just be the optimist hero boy. Oh, hold on. Oh, hold on. Hold on a minute. I'm immediately won over. Anyway, going back to this. Her spine bends. Yeah, she's got some major scoliosis. And not in the direction you'd think either. It's like a backwards bend. But like Rex, he starts off as the optimist hero boy, and then he becomes a fraidy cat loser weenie, and it's just like, why did that happen? There's like a dream sequence later on in the game. This isn't like really spoilers at all, because I don't think the story of the later parts of Xenoblade Chronicles 2 even matters that much. But just, you know, if you care. There's like a dream sequence where he starts running away from all his problems, when like throughout the entirety of the rest of the game and all the earlier parts, he just throws his face at every problem he's ever had, screaming very nonchalantly. That fan art. Now that is what I want to see. He went from harem boy to harem man. Yeah, and I hate it. It's not deserved. It's not earned at all. I don't care. I don't care about him. I don't care how many hoes he's got. I don't care. He didn't earn them. He was a weenie who didn't know how to yell. Somebody had to teach him. He never learned. Having kids with both his blades and the cat lady, who was also a blade. Having kids with that many blades, it's a wonder he didn't accidentally hurt himself. Being able to equip every blade from every partner, yeah, it's like the Persona rules. Well, I abuse it to get the other people their main blades off of them. It's Friday, right? Please tell me it's Friday. Hello, Steak. No. I will not lie to you. Why would you ask me to lie to you? What's wrong with you? What an evil man. Literally asks you to lie at him. How are y'all? We're just complaining about video games. And big boobs, which is like, you might be thinking, but like, those two things are so great, why would you complain about them? Oh, there's times when you must. If you're on holidays, it feels like a Friday. I am decidedly not on a holiday, and it does not feel like a Friday. So that's my whole deal right now. That is good enough, right? Well, I guess so. I wouldn't know. I haven't had a holiday in forever. I haven't been in college for like 3 years. 2 or 3 years, I don't even remember. And I just started working at a job recently. So my holidays are over for probably a while. Contractors don't get holidays, cries and contractor. Everything can be too much, right? Everything can be too much. It's all about balance and moderation. Unless we're talking about me and receiving money, then you could go as hog wild as you want. I would not turn anything down. Some people, they be polite, they're like, oh, I couldn't possibly receive this gift for this very generous donation. I'll freaking hand it over. If you can't take it, I'll take it off your hands. No, I got plenty of room for it in my bank account. It's vacuous, my bank account. Nebulous in it, what the space that it has inside, due to how little it actually contains. A TikTok. I swore I wouldn't revisit this website ever again, but here I go. Shut up, Xenoblade. Just for a second. Calm down. Oh god, testicular torsion. Well, I don't think I really need to bring that up on screen now, do I? I think we got the gist of that one. Is that Swan being hit with money? That's her newest emote. Have you seen her making that one? She's finally committing to the bit that she is allergic to money. I don't know if she's done with it yet, but that's the one she was making earlier. And that's awesome. It's animated and everything. A dollar bill just hits her in the face and she dies. I was personally tickled by the fact that she chose the most delicate form of currency in the world to be the one that mortally wounds her. It's just like, what are dollar, but they're just like cotton little swaths rather, of paper. It's like the softest form of currency in the universe. It couldn't have been like a coin or like a gold ingot. Nah, it's just a dollar bill. That makes it funnier, yeah. I do agree. And she like freaking vaporizes too. Doesn't even just knock her out. I was hesitant on making this guy the golden-haired man that he is, but now that I'm seeing it in action, I think it works pretty good. I might do streaks of gray. I don't know. Little salt and pepper. That's usually for people with brown hair. What is blonde and gray? Freaking honey and salt? No, that's a horrible combination. Do not combine those. Ah, yes, the most iconic flavor combination. Salty sweet. People do like that. I don't know if I'm too big on it. Chocolate-covered pretzels and stuff like that, I don't know. I think salty and sweet works for me if there's a more emphasis on one or the other. Like, it has to be a very subtle hint of whatever the alternative is. A bag of coins would be lethal. Yeah, maybe that'll be my emote when I get them. Just my goblin-y face right here. And then like a bag of coins just coming in and just absolutely killing me. Flattening me into a pulp. That might be mine. You want to know what's messed up? My goblin avatar has a better complexion than I do. This gross, greasy little green dude. He's got better skin than me. Like, what? How messed up is it? Does nobody else see what's wrong with this picture? Does nobody else see how effed up this is? Why did I draw him with such good skin? His pores go down to the pixel level, so of course he's gonna look better than me. I'm in love with peanuts with salt and honey flavor. It is too good. Yeah, you see, that's the thing. If it's like just like a little bit of the one, and they're not like they're not fighting each other for dominance in my mouth, which is not. I'm gonna try and find a different way to phrase that in the future, but for now, that's the best I got. But, you know, as long as there's a clear winner, I think the sweet and salty can work. For me, anyway. He greasy. He is, and yet it's better than what I got, what I'm working with in real life. I may not be greasy, but I'm like pimply? I'm not pimply. I just have like, I don't even know what it is. It's not acne, it's just uneven. Uneven skin tone. I don't even know what it is. Maybe it's freckles? I don't know. Do I need to see a dermatologist? Maybe. Maybe. This salmon-colored ascot. What am I doing here? We can always change it later if we don't like it. Kind of looks like McDonald's color palette. Now I don't like it. Well, now as soon as I put that in my brain, I can't do that. I'm sweet and salty. I'm not gonna. I refuse to reciprocate any response to that. I always get pimples when I shave. I don't shave is probably that's probably how I avoid it. Just neck beard all the time. More salty this week than sweet steak. Do we need to have words? Or do I need to see less of your words, perhaps? Can I just time you out again? Maybe it should be like a nice desaturated blue. That would just make him old Maximilian dude. Yeah, we can't have that. I don't want Maximilian dude in my comic. Yet, anyway. Maybe he could show up as a background cameo at some point when I'm trying to just design a random person in a crowd shot. If I had to describe my own flavor profile, these days it's definitely bitter. I'm a jaded 78-year-old man. And I feel that way every time I awaken. Before the nighttime job schedule, I don't know what I would have been. Maybe a little spicy? I don't know. Yeah, I think I like the blue bear. Now let's color in those buttons again. Wow, that was hard. That was hard work. It gets worse as you get older, sport. I'm like 98. Can't get much older. Your everything starts hurting. Your knees, your feet, your soul. What is that infamous Squidward line? I have no soul. And then like the devil laugh behind it. That was a great episode. And a good bit. And I can't believe they let that air in like the 90s. That was like when people started calling Pokemon the devil and they let Squidward say that he has no soul and then Hellfire reigns behind it. What do they do? They were going nuts back then. Maybe if we just do it like this. Yeah, keep some of the... yeah, we'll just keep some of this here. And then which panels are just going to be solid gradient? Which I realize is a contradictory phrase. Probably this one. Whoops, I should probably just steal it from myself. Give me my gradient. Where are you? This one. Is that by the way, is that like a real thing, by the way, when people say that their joints hurt on only specifically on days when it rains? Is that like a real thing? Or is that just like a movie thing? Does anybody know? That always sounded like a movie thing, but I could also see the feasibility of it being a real thing, because, you know, pressure systems change when it's about to rain, so I could see it. It's plausible to me. I don't have fluctuating joint pain, so I can't verify it based on anecdotal experience. You could definitely have fluctuating soul pains depending on if it's raining or not. It's probably where like half of all emo music comes from, is songs being written during episodes of fluctuating soul pain. And I'm just gonna put it out there right now: fluctuating soul pain is the best name for an independent emo band on the rise these days. If you needed an option, I'm just saying. I guess we could do the values now, since I'm sure as hell not drawing these backgrounds in particular today. This one. What is this song? Kingdom of Torna from Torna. I didn't play that. I didn't even finish 2. I got right to the end and I stopped. I've done that with a couple games. I did that with Paper Mario Sticker Star, although getting to the end of Paper Mario Sticker Star was already way farther than that game deserved to be played by anyone. Nobody should get that far in Paper Mario Sticker Star. You should drop it after the first level and then return it to GameStop and get your $3.50 back. I got every blade? Why? Upgraded almost all of them and then stopped? That's too much. I didn't even try to get Numa, or whatever her name is. Numa Yay. Ugh, Sticker Star. That's everyone's response to just remembering that game is real. I played Sticker Star 3 times? I'm so sorry. Are you okay, dude? Like, what happened? Do we need like a sidebar or something? Do you need to talk about that? Do you gotta unpack some of that stuff? Okay, the multiply layer is here. See, theoretically, because the ambient lighting around this whole thing is just brown, it's all just wood. Based on what I know, I just need my desk really hard, and I felt every bit of that. The shadows should just be a brownish hue? Is that what I'm getting from this? Let's just see if it works. I mean, I don't even know if that looks much different at all. I can see that it does look different, but like how much different? Maybe it's not relevant when you're just using multiply layer. I imagine if you're taking this into a fully rendered piece it would be more important, but I'm not doing that. If I rendered any one of these panels fully, it would delay the release date of this prologue chapter by at least another month. If I'm being realistic with myself. Because I'm working, what, like 2.5 hours a day on a good day? For like a few days a week on a good week? I simply did not spend enough time. Let's see, what else do we want to do here? Trying to figure out how the clothing works again, because clothing studies happened a while ago. I haven't done them in a while. I haven't studied anything in a while. That's what happens when you dedicate all of your effort on one thing. To one thing. Well, English is hard. But not as hard as working your way through Sticker Star. That is a Herculean task. And the fact that I got as far as I did should be commended. And the fact that Mask got as far as he did should be admonished. You should feel very ashamed. Where's my blur? There it is. I'll add some ambient occlusion later. As is tradition. Oh, this is the weird song. Get this one away from me. I don't like the creepy guy singing the song. Freudian slip, you decide. Did you finish it though? Nope. And I think in some ways that makes me a better person than those who did. In a purely arbitrary sense. Do I just need to blend this out? Let's just see if that works. Now this sounds like a Nier song, and that's something I could get behind. Now Tane I can get into. The brush is simply too large. I must shrink it down. Speaking of things I'm glad I did not finish, as well as spoilers for old-ass content or movies, I was recently reacquainted with the concept of the series Usagi Drop. And if you haven't heard of that series, it's probably for a good reason. If you have heard of that series, it's probably for one reason specifically. To give it the briefest of rundowns, it is an anime about someone, I believe they take in a child. A man takes in a daughter. And for the vast majority of the series, it's just like this slice of life, raising a daughter, you know, new fatherhood type beat. And it's all going well, it's all cute and stuff, and it's like, oh, it was actually praised from what I understand. And from what I remember of my time watching the series, I never got to the end, and I now am very relieved after knowing what happens. Because apparently towards the end of that series, at the very end, it shifts from this anime about fatherhood to this one where the father actually marries the foster daughter, and it's just like the weirdest, like grooming-ist plotline that comes out of nowhere. And apparently, this only occurs in the anime adaptation. This is not a plotline in the manga, from what I understand. And it just makes you wonder, what were they even doing? Why would you do that? A found family plotline has never gone more incorrect than that one. Yeah, those reactions are appropriate. I had the exact same ones. Like, why would you do that? Go on. What do you mean, go on? That's really the long and short of it. There should be nothing left to say. He has a daughter. He took her in as a wee lass. And then eventually he marries her when she comes of age. It's like, you. No? Don't do that. You shouldn't have to be told not to do that. And yet here we are. You just blindside like the entirety of the audience who was supporting the series. And it's even weirder that it wasn't the originally intended vision. That's probably the weirdest part. No, the incest is the weirdest part, like found family incest. But the second weirdest part is that it wasn't the original vision, for sure. Animes do be having problematic plot lines. That's like beyond problematic plot line. It was the fact that it like clotheslined everybody who wasn't prepared for it. Just getting fully invested, and it's like it's purely wholesome right up until the end too, so you have no chance to escape or see it coming. It just comes out of nowhere. It's like, pah! No! I didn't ask for this. Who would? There's people out there that would, but I don't want to talk to those people. So we're gonna pretend they're not real. That's what I do with most of my issues, my problems. I just pretend that they're not real. And it's worked out pretty well sometimes. Like Mushiko Tensei, love the rest of it, but a 40-year-old in a 13-year-old's body doing stuff? Negative. I haven't even... I believe I've heard the name. Let me look that up. Jobless reincarnate. Yeah. I've seen this one going around. I hear a lot of people like this one for the most part. So that's surprising to me that it has that sort of sub-element in there. I did not expect that. I don't know. You don't know what? What don't you know? What do you know? The MC is too perverse? I haven't watched it. I wouldn't know. That doesn't surprise me either, though. That's another popular trait, or trope, in anime. Just be a pervoid. And then the girl will eventually like you if you wear her down long enough. It's a very healthy message to send to young men. And women. But damn it, I love the world and the adventures. Why can't they just have the world and the adventures be cool? Without all these strings attached. I have made it a point my comic will not have a harem. You guys can rest easy knowing that. No obnoxious pervoid main characters. It's gonna be great. I've thought about all the tropes, and I've decided I don't like most of them, and I'm gonna try and write a story without a lot of them. There's gonna be a few tropes that I like that I can't help but include, obviously. But a lot of them I'm gonna try and just ignore. Particularly the ones that I would have picked up from anime. Can't say that word correctly, by the way. Let's try one more time. Particularly. There we go. I got it. Man, it would have been so embarrassing if I messed it up that third time. Oh my god, I probably would have ended stream. I don't know if I could have managed after that. Also, a thing I love about this shading style is that it's very easy. As a result of the blur tool just hiding all the stuff that you don't want to be seen. Or most of it anyway. And you could keep some of the hard edges in there and it works just pretty much intuitively. You don't even really have to plan out where it's going to be. Just usually works. As long as you have some hard edges in there for focus, you could just kind of do whatever you want. That's my art pro tip, my pro hack tips. My art walkthrough for the day. Make sure you write it down. Keep all these tips in your brain. I am definitely a professional and definitely not just a hobbyist who has no idea what he's doing. Why is the eraser so small? Oh, why is the eraser so large? What a 180. What a roller coaster. That's kind of what I do too. Yeah, that's all you gotta do. Just smudge stuff around until it looks good. Or decent. Alright, I think I will put a background on this panel, so... Or at least the lines indicating a wooden wall, which is usually what I do. I think I need the color of the door. So I'm gonna need to blind you for a second. Silence your eyes. Also known as close them. Where's the door? I need the door. Give me the door color. There's the door. Give. I have obtained the color of the door. I am now returning back to page 13 with the door color in hand. Ready to make the transaction. There we go. Man, I really did not leave a lot of space for the wall here, did I? Guess I don't really need to. And then this is easy. We could just like, yeah, put here halfway between, hue shift towards, I mean, we're already in blue territory, so I don't know. And then the night would be out here. Both the night sky and the night warrior, as he is. Oh, that's way too dark. Get out of here, dude. What are you freaking doing? Maybe just a slight shift. No. No. Yes. Okay. That's more like it. And then you gotta add your multiplication layer. Because it simply is just the best layer mode. If the, let me tell you this, if the multiply layer didn't exist, I don't know if I'd be making comics right now. It'd be so much harder for me to figure out how to do. I guess I would just do the thing where you make a layer, change the color levels or whatever to make it darker. There's a certain thing you can do that I've seen other artists do. Then just erase what you don't need. There's other ways to get the same function, but without the multiply layer, everything would be so much more annoying. Oh, where did my what the? Where did you go? How did I even do that? Where did all this go? Did I press a button on my keyboard? What did that even look like on stream? That probably looked ridiculous. I don't even know what combination of keys I pressed to do that. I just hid all of my stuff. How did that happen? Very bizarre. I do like these streams where I actually get into the rendering and the flats and all that. If you could call this rendering. I'll call it the values. How about that? That makes me feel more genuine about the whole thing. Makes me feel like I'm making a lot more progress than when I'm doing the line art streams. Let me tell you, the line art streams, they almost kill me inside. Because I'm just like, oh my god, I am never going to make anything ever. I am too slow for this world. We need to reach the singularity so I can put myself in a cyborg body immediately. I just need more time, man. That's all I need is a robot body. Then I can live forever. We can blur it. Well, I guess. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Yeah, that looks fine. Good enough. And we'll blur this one. Has anyone seen Punch Punch Forever yet? I know Mask has. Or at least I think he did. But I've watched it like 5 more times since last stream when I brought it up. I am finding a lot of activities I didn't even do. Activities, you say? Like what? Have it in my bookmarks, have yet to watch. I recommend it. It's definitely one of those things, one of those YouTube animations where I'm like, God, this needs to be a series of great length, and I will stop it. Now, if I was a billionaire, it would be one of the projects where I just go up to the creator, I'm like, hey, this one? More of this, please. That one. That's the one. Yes, that one. How much do you need? I'll double it. I think I asked my friends for their work. Or the teacher didn't care, homers. We talking about Punch Punch Forever? We are indeed talking about Punch Punch Forever. Have you watched it, Stowe? And do you also agree that it's one of the finest pieces of animation to come out on YouTube in a while? Because I certainly feel that way about it. I think Spadoru's always been great. But this most recent work is something else. I really enjoyed it. I keep up with Spadoru. I love everything he does. It's hard. You'd be hard-pressed to find something that he's made that I don't like. And also that video came out at a good time. It's in the midst of one of our increasingly frequent Worthy Kids droughts, where he just is probably working on the next 2 minutes of Big Top Burger content, which will take a year to produce, but you know what? It's worth it. Right? But at this point, it is taking a little bit longer than I would have expected. I didn't know him or don't. He's a very good YouTube animator. Very funny stuff as well. I think Spadoru's sense of humor is it is one that I align with very heavily. Every joke that he does in most of his animations, I'm just like, yeah, I'm gonna laugh at it every time I see it. It's a funny lad, that one. I did appreciate the reference to, the original Dragon Ball series. I did not mute that. But, the reference to Launch from Dragon Ball. With the demon sister who sneezes and changes form. I did like that. That's a very... you know, it's the characters who form shift from sneezing. I don't know why I feel like that should be a more prevalent trope. But I feel like it should be. It's probably... Maybe it shouldn't, because sneeze stuff is like a fetish these days. It probably always was, but it's very much more so nowadays. So maybe it's good that it's not a popular trope, but I think it's a fun one whenever it shows up. Just like the form change that is not entirely under control. But not in like a malevolent way, in like a completely benign way, is where it's just like, oh yeah, I sneeze and that's when it happens. There's like no evil spirit possession, or hidden power, or drawbacks. It's just, yeah, if I sneeze, then I become this other thing. And you don't see that. It sure as hell, and don't let the internet catch me saying this, but Punch Forever do be beating the absolute hell out of Hell of a Boss, and it's only 8 minutes of content, as opposed to like 2 whole seasons of that other show. I'm gonna say it, Hell of a Boss is overrated, in my personal opinion. In every way except for the animation is crazy. I don't know how Vivziepop found her team, because they're all insane. The fact that she found a bunch of people who are willing and able to animate her absurd character designs, that's good, great. Fantastic. The writing, though, I think I don't get it. It's not for me. Evidently, it's popular enough to have an audience of millions even into its 2nd season. Even still today, so it's doing something that people enjoy. But I don't see the appeal, personally. In my opinion, it doesn't even seem like it has a plot. Like, what's the main motivation for anybody in that show? I don't even know anymore. I dropped off like halfway through season 1, I think. At least when the Has-Been Hotel pilot came out, however long ago, God, that must be years ago by now, which makes me feel even older than I am at the ripe age of 103. It's like, at least the characters were clear. Neither do I, don't tell Cherry. Yeah. Your secret's safe with me. What kind of a doctor are you? But, like, apparently Has-Been Hotel is being worked on, or being... It's, like, in the whole TV production studio process. So whether or not that show actually ever comes out, who knows? It'd be cool, because that was one of the... I actually enjoyed that pilot. The Hell of a Boss pilot, I couldn't care less, to be honest with you. But the Has-Been Hotel pilot, I liked it. I'm gonna say it, I liked it. And now it's just radio silence. Why is it the one that I didn't care about? Why is that the one that gets 2 seasons? I ask you. They did, however, get Kesha to do a voice role in one of their newest episodes. That's pretty pog, I gotta agree. It's just pretty cool, fine. Unpopular taste, easier to animate. I think what the real reason is they needed something to make money off of. To keep their studio afloat in the midst of these blossoming projects. And they probably had plans to send... to start shipping off the Has-Been Hotel pilot to studio, like actual TV networks and production companies way earlier than they did Hell of a Boss. So that was likely just the only other property they had that they could use. They had a couple pilots. The Has-Been Hotel one blew up and gave them enough leeway to work on this other project they had. The one that they weren't going to send to TV studio network so that they could work on it themselves in the meantime while that one stewed in the background. And now we just wait. Easier to animate, I don't know. Every character design that VivziePop makes is like pretty out there. I would describe nothing she has ever designed as easy to animate, just looking at it. I'm not even much of an animator. But like every time I see a VivziePop character design in motion, I'm like, oh my god. You guys must make so much money off of this series in order to pay people fairly for doing this kind of work. That's crazy. There's like so many... It's like, here's this character. Look how simple this character I designed is. Like right here, she's just a lady in like a kimono-esque attire. It'd be like if I did this character, but then she had like a sparkle, and then the sparkle had different, and then it's like looping back, and then here, and then this here. And then I did this, and then a little bit of this, and then this is like a wreath that she has, and this is glowing, so it's all sparkly and like whoa, and like and you have to animate the glow so that it's on the overlay layer on top of everything, and then her outfit has like a completely different color palette over here, and it's got a completely new set. It's like plaid because fuck you, and there you go, you got plaid over here, plaid all the time over the entire. It's just like, why would you do that to your animators? And asymmetrical limb patterns. True, she would have like a tendril arm over here that's doing some wild stuff just all the time. It's just moving ambiently. Even if the character's standing still, there's like 8 tentacles coming off of it. You could make it still. She does, in all fairness. The animator, they do it. I don't know how she convinces them to do it. Probably with a lot of money. But they do it. And they still do make that kind of stuff. It's crazy. Crazy to me. Alright, I guess we'll finish this panel and then I'll call it. We've made some decent progress. Not a ton, not a little, but a decent amount of progress today. Not 55 tons, which is the weight of a tank, which is what I learned earlier. This stream. Maybe like 3 tons. We made approximately 3 tons of progress. What the heck? Why is this not working? Oh, it's because it's on the eraser. I hate when I do that. What is this Bloodborne lobby music? You want to know something? My laptop makes Yakuza Like a Dragon lag so much, the karaoke is out of sync. When I try playing, oh, that's gotta be so infuriating. When you just want to do karaoke with the boys. And you're playing a completely different rhythm than what the game's showing you. I can't even imagine playing an out-of-sync rhythm game. Just conceptually, that makes me upset. I'm an angrier human being having just realized that is a possibility. I saw a Reddit post. I don't know why I'm getting all these Reddit recommendations for the Twitch subreddit. Probably because I clicked on it once and now they think I'm just hardcore into it all the time now. That's usually how it goes. It was talking about a speedrunning affiliate and like, why do people speedrun affiliate? And it's like, the answer is for emotes, obviously. But my question coming away from that was like, how do you speedrun affiliate? I've reached the 20 follower mark like 4 times. So the idea that people can speedrun to like 200 or whatever. I don't even know what the number is you need anymore. I haven't looked in a while. That's ridiculous. Well, how do you plan on speedrunning affiliate? And what's like a good time for that speedrun anyway? Is it like months? Years? I don't know what the speedrun's like. What are the strats? Do you just play like League of Legends? Because I'm not doing that. I would rather die. I don't think that's too extreme to say. I think everyone would agree that that's probably the better of the 2 paths. Is to die than to play League of Legends. Also known as dying with your boots on. You might be able to speedrun affiliate if you've garnered a certain level of acclaim within the Yakuza fandom. Still seems pretty niche though, although maybe having a niche is exactly what you need to speedrun affiliate. Maybe I've gone too niche is the issue though. I don't know how many people are willing to follow guy randomly decided that he would start making a fantasy webcomic. That might be a little too niche for most people. It's not even like, if you're doing an art stream, you gotta draw anime ladies in pin-up poses. And that's really it. That's the secret. And I don't do that. So I'm already at a loss here. I'm starting off... I'm giving myself disadvantages, which is not what you want to do. A friend of mine is 55 viewers, but has been streaming for 6 years. Yeah, what am I on? Like stream 90 something? It's been a few months. I'm not really trying to grow though. I have done nothing by way of improving my metrics. I haven't made a Discord. I haven't made a Twitter dedicated to posting when I'm going live. Or announcing. I haven't done variety at all. I'm doing art streams like only, and not even variety within the art streams. The most variety in these streams is when I boot up Google Snake Game. 5 viewers only? Oh, sorry. Yeah, I mean, either way. Larger than my usual concurrent viewer base. And the idea still stands. I have no idea what I'm supposed to do, what I would do, even if I wanted to improve the metrics. And I'm not even sure I want to. I'm really just doing these streams, like I've said before, to hold myself accountable. I'm actually still working on your wet Makoto request, by the way, Zota. My what? That must have happened so long ago, I goddamn forgot what you're talking about. My wet Makoto request. I mean, I'm interested, because that sounds like something I would have requested, so... You have done nothing, but I do all the work. That's true. Garo is the biggest help for this jury. Also, welcome in, Garo. Look at all the friends you've made along the way. That's true. In the words of Rex from Xenoblade Chronicles, I love you, and all you guys. No one specifically, though. No one more than others. I'll never leave your side, Zotan, even if you wanted me to, and I do. Rest assured, I do. I could not stand the sight of you. No, just kidding. I know it's from like a year ago, but yeah, it was totally... It sounds exactly like me. How did your nephew's stream go? I think it went pretty well. I was in there for... He was playing COD Mobile. He couldn't read chat very well, so he might have to find a way to get a second monitor, though. I'm just here while I'm on an ad break. Well, well, well. We on for tomorrow and what game? I'm down for tomorrow. I don't know what game. Feel free to suggest the options. I know we bought Nom Nom Galaxy, or at least I did. I think you did as well. If I'm not mistaken. Could try that one out. Wet Makoto. What did I mean? Still, do you know what I meant? Or has it been so long that even you look at that request and you're like, I don't know what this man was talking about. Wet Makoto. Wet Makoto. Wet Makoto. As opposed to a dry Makoto. Why did I distinguish which one? Also, Adbreak, I'll talk to you later. Later, Gara. I would have to get it. Didn't have money at the time. I understand. Divinity, Divinity, Divinity. Divinity is cool. I don't know if anybody... I could play that on stream at some point, but I don't know if that would be more fun as a collab game or a solo game. Probably a collab one, right? It'd be like D&D campaign. Makoto for Persona 5? No, it's the Street Fighter one for sure. I despise Makoto from Persona 5. I cannot stand that robotic lady. Zero personality. Her whole character arc is literally her not having a personality and not understanding what anything is like at all. She done worked up a sweat. Oh, that makes a lot more sense than just wet. Good, yeah, absolutely cannot. I don't care about Makoto. Get her out of here. Honestly, and this is probably gonna anger some people. I don't think there's many good waifus in Persona 5. There, I said it. I'm sorry. I don't even like Futaba that much. I know. Calm down, calm down. Put that pitchfork away. God, it's sharp. It's pointy, dude. I got fragile skin. It's weak to pitchforks. Unsubscribes, you can't even do that. I'm so low on the totem pole. You can't even wound me. Ban me. I freaking will. Or did you mean bon me? Which I think is a food. It is. It's like a sandwich. I like the Doctor Lady. Oh, you're so right. Doctor Lady is real. Yeah, I do like Doctor Lady. I need to decide if I disagree with that or not, actually. Just try and think of, like, 3 good waifus in Persona 5. I'll wait. You're getting 2 max. With a well-reasoned approach. I hate the reporter lady. Everyone hates the reporter lady. Her personality trait is drunk. Very attractive. What do you mean? There's alternative hot doctor lady with the... Yeah, I didn't remember hot doctor lady. Now that everyone's talking about her, I do remember doctor lady. There's funky hippie tarot reading card girl who hides her country accent. You like hippie tarot girl? She's weird. Shogi master girl? Yeah, Shogi girl is pretty great too. I didn't really interact with her that much, so I'll be honest there. Fluffy cinnamon bun. Haru does nothing at all. Drunk is my personality trait. Shut up. And see how abusive you are? Why would I want to be around somebody who's like this all the time? I don't know, I think there's material to work with in P5. There's material to work with, I just don't think they developed it as much as I would have liked. In terms of, oh man, but I understand, if they did, it wouldn't really be Persona. I don't want to play, listen, just because games have waifus doesn't mean I want them to have waifus. Looking at you, Fire Emblem. Became a full-on dating simulator, and I don't know if I want that to happen with Persona. Abusive, I'm zesty. This dude says yas on the daily. And I honestly think An gets slept on pretty hard because she's starter girl. I'll have you know she was the first one I picked. Because she was the only one that seemed like she had enough time to be developed in an interesting way. And it's probably because she shows up at the start of the game. And I was like, oh, thank God. I actually understand what this character is about. For more than 2 minutes. Yeah, if you look at her actual arc in the game, it's pretty great. I know! I agree wholeheartedly. She was the first one I picked. Kawakami as a dating option was weird. After one of the enemies was another teacher wanting to be with a student. Yeah. I do remember the Kawakami whole maid service arc. That was a truly bizarre decision, but, you know, it's Japan. There are cultural differences, so... One man's trash is another man's teacher fetish. Anyway, I think we've just about exhausted this panel. Just one little thing. Before, well, I'm not going to do the background. I'll do that later. Just darken the bottom of the panel a little bit. I'll do the ambient occlusion afterwards as well. I'm gonna go now, have fun, guys. Me too! So, you know, later in a second. I gotta throw up my screen. On bros. How do I do that? What's the other high five? I'll just do this. Where's the backslash? Not the Xenoblade one. Good enough. I don't know where the other hand is. Is there even another hand? Don't make fun of me. There isn't. It only goes in that one direction. You legally can't make fun of me for doing what I did. Alright, with that, tomorrow is probably going to be a game stream. If I can remember, or if we can decide, rather, what we're going to do. If you're interested. Garo, friend of the stream, shows up, does more work for the stream than I ever will. We'll be playing something, I'm sure. We'll probably figure it out later. But that's it for today, anyway. Before you go, what food goes well with soup? Sandwiches. Toasted bread sandwich. Depends on the soup. Bread is... See, bread is the answer. Put the bread in the soup. Or pour the soup over the bread. Okay, now can I go? Do I have permission to do that? How about a knuckle sandwich? Alright, that's it, I'm leaving. After, hold on, first I'm gonna ban you. Here we go. And I'm gonna unban him, and then I'm gonna end the stream. So, thank you for stopping by. I'll see you all later. Bye-bye. No pro, thanks for stopping by.